When you walk through the ruins of ancient Rome, you're not just looking at history, you're walking through the foundations of the modern world. Surely, the Romans didn't invent civilization, but they perfected it in ways that still shape our lives today. From engineering and law to citizenship and government, Rome's legacy is everywhere. And while they borrowed heavily, especially from ancient Greeks, they also knew when to do things better and, more importantly, when to invent entirely new ideas. Hi, I'm Bruno, a passionate traveler and history buff, exploring Europe's most fascinating places. I'm not a professional historian, but I love digging into the history behind landmarks and events. Here I share my personal take on key moments in European history, shaped by the places I visited and the questions I keep asking along the way. Let's start by what Rome took from ancient Greece and why. Now let's be clear, Rome did not invent everything from scratch. In fact, the Romans were great borrowers, and proud of it. The Romans truly admired Greek culture. To them, Greece was the reference in terms of beauty, aesthetics, and artistry. So they borrowed. They copied Greek sculpture, seeing no reason to reinvent what was already near perfect. In fact, many of the Greek masterpieces we admire today survive only because Romans made exact replicas. They also adopted Greek gods, only renaming them. Zeus became Jupiter, Athena became Minerva, but they kept many of their stories intact, and they were deeply influenced by Greek philosophy, literature, and education. Wealthy Romans sent their children to Greece to study Greek rhetoric and logic. For Rome, Greek culture was the gold standard, and they were practical. If something worked, they'd use it, but if they could improve it, they just did. Let's now talk about what Rome did differently, and better. Take government. Athens invented direct democracy. Citizens voted on laws themselves. But such a great invention only worked in small communities. Rome took this idea and scaled it up. They created a representative republic, a system where elected officials made decisions on behalf of the people. There were checks and balances, term limits, and overlapping roles to prevent any one person from gaining too much power. Yes, their system was more complex, but it was also more scalable than Athenian democracy, which was crucial for managing a huge empire that spanned continents. And it eventually became the blueprint for modern republics across the world. Now, let's come to what Rome invented and left behind for us. The Romans were engineers of empire. To govern a territory stretching from the Mediterranean to the North Sea, they needed more than just armies. They needed infrastructure. They built over 400,000 kilometers of roads, countless bridges and harbors, many still visible today. These connected cities, armies, and trade routes, creating a network that tied the empire together, an advanced, urbanized society with aqueducts to carry fresh water across vast distances and sewer systems to keep cities clean. This wasn't just impressive engineering, it was the backbone of the first truly integrated European economy and society. But Rome didn't just lay stone foundations, it laid legal ones too. Roman law introduced ideas so innovative, they're still cornerstones of modern justice. Basic legal principles like anyone being innocent until proven guilty, the equality of everyone before the law, or the binding power of contracts. These weren't just abstract concepts, they were practical tools for holding a vast empire together. With millions of people under Roman rule, a fair, consistent legal system was the only way to ensure order, cooperation, and stability. And it worked. Roman legal thinking became the blueprint for many modern systems in Europe and beyond. Now, here's where Rome truly reimagined how their society should work. Unlike the Greeks, who drew sharp lines between native citizens and outsiders, the Romans were inclusive. They introduced a radical idea: universal citizenship. Even people in distant, newly conquered provinces like Gaul, Hispania, or North Africa could eventually become full Roman citizens with rights and responsibilities. This wasn't just generosity, It was smart governance. It truly helped unify vastly different cultures under a shared identity. At its height, the Roman Empire was the first and only time in history that Europe, from the Mediterranean up to the North Sea, was unified under one rule, a shared infrastructure, and one citizenship model. So, what did the Romans leave us? More than beautiful and evocative ruins. They left us the tools to build efficient modern societies: infrastructure, laws, identity, and inclusion. They imagined and engineered a world that could work on a massive scale. And 2,000 years later, we're still walking their roads. Because Rome didn't just conquer, Rome built, and we're still building on it. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. It really helps me keep creating more content like this. Please also feel free to share your thoughts in the comments below, and if there's any particular topic in history you'd like me to explore in a future video, please let me know. I'm always open to new ideas and suggestions. Thanks again, and see you in the next one.